Hey guys, welcome to Coma Pirate Radio, where we as esoteric pirates slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, and talk about the maps. This is an episode of Solar Party Paradigm, where we use these cards to look at the map. All right. Now, this map changes day to day unless you're looking at your birth chart, which you can use these cards as well to get to know thyself through astrology. But today we're going to be looking at the map for July 11th. Now, what we see on this map is a lot of symbols. These cards, the Solar Party Paradigm cards, have the symbols as the largest thing on the card. You can see on this map where the symbols are and read each card. So first, we're going to look at the sun. Okay, the sun is in Cancer. So to create this avatar, we take these two cards and we read what's on the card to get an idea of how this energy is personified so that we can communicate with it better. This is the birthday kid. Happy birthday, Cancer. Cancer is a feminine energy. It's a water sign. The birthday kid has blue skin, tattoos of waves and the moon. This avatar cleans the karma like a crab cleans the sand. This is the hero of the party as we know it right now on the 11th of July. Now, as we know, this map changes. But to use the energies as they are now, we look at what's going on today. The hero is able to clean the karma, is able to protect the entire party with salt, okay, around the whole party. Now, as we see on the map right here, the sun is in sextile with Mars. So we find the cards, okay, the sun, and we find this symbol, sextile. What does this mean? This is an energy that is similar to tantric energy. We can laugh at it, meaning that we feel this attraction, this tension between two members of the party, which is the birthday kid and Mars, the jock. Now, Mars is in, here on the map, that Mars is in Virgo. And if you don't know the sign, you find the sign on the card. You read this card with the jock, the best player on the field, the one that's wearing a Letterman jacket, but it happens to be pink. They're an androgynous character because this is a masculine heavenly body and this is a feminine constellation. So we have an androgynous player on the field that is the youngest. I mean, is he even old enough to be on the field, right? But this constellation has a backpack full of everything they need. The harvest, the basket. is all symbolized by having everything you need right there in your arms. And this jock has a backpack. Now, if we feel this sextile with the hero that can clean karma and the jock, we can use this energy as magicians to find success, to find this passionate energy to win the game. You have to have the passion to win the game, or you're not going to be able to focus and either kick the ball as far as you need to kick it and make the goal, or practice so that you're good enough to play the game, right? Now, this energy, Virgo, is absolutely passionate enough and excited enough to practice, to think about the body, making sure that the body is prepared to get on the field, stretch beforehand, has eaten right, and is organized enough to win the game. That's a very powerful jock that we have on the field right now. In sextile with the birthday kid, that's a good energy right there. So let's pull a few cards to find out what the birthday kid wants to say. And we have the Queen, feminine. Mars wants to speak of this divine feminine in fire with passion. This queen, this Virgo queen can win. The birthday kid is all about it. Like, the birthday kid is standing on the bleachers, right? Getting so excited that this queen is on the field playing for him, right? Well, he is also in Cancer, which is a feminine side as well. So the sun, the birthday kid, is also androgynous. These two characters are really looking at the feminine aspect of playing the game. How does the feminine play the game, right? And it doesn't matter whether you're a girl or a boy, what you have in your physical body, as long as your physical body is able to do the task, right? But feminine energy typically is more of a receiving, right? Are you going to catch the ball? Oh, this makes me think of, being a kid and you're so scared, you're out in the outfield and you hardly ever see the ball coming at you, and then all of a sudden you do. Are you going to catch it to win the game? Because you don't need to throw it. You need to catch this ball. This is feminine. Are you going to be there for it? Are you going to be able to hold it and get the ball where it needs to go to win the game? Now, what does the jock have to say about this? Okay, the 6 of Diamonds. This is Earth. The 6 is that magical number. Is this going to be magic? Is your body healthy enough to win the game? To be magical? Right? Virgo is all about health. We're all learning about health right now, and what we consume is what we are. Learning about our diet and what consume absolutely is a feminine, is taking in. What do you take in? Right? Is the feminine. Catching the ball, thinking about it esoterically as consuming, right? Is it going to be magical? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be sustainable for that diamond? Is your body a diamond, right? And this is not saying that you have to be in perfect health. Very few of us are in perfect health. This is thinking about the energies of the heavenly bodies. And when we are working with these heavenly bodies, as above, so below, it's just asking us to look into how you're going to win the game. The 6 is the number of beauty. This is also the number of the lovers. The birthday kid and Mars being lovers at the moment at the grand solar party. We can feel this like medieval idea of the joust, right? And winning the hand of each other. The knight winning the game for the princess kind of feels, right? The 6 is also the number that is associated as 16 with the tower. And we know that the tower has to be built. And we also, with tarot, typically find the tower is falling down, but it doesn't have to fall down, right? The tower can be built with a strong foundation. That's what they're trying to tell us. The foundation is in the physical reality. Do you have a strong foundation in this physical realm to win the game in the astral realm, as above, so below? All right, we also have Jupiter, the boss. At the solar party paradigm, this is the owner of the venue, the biggest planet of them all, the godfather, the grandfather, a masculine energy that is holding the abundance for everyone. Now, just a little while ago was hand in hand, arm in arm, in conjunction with the sun. They've been that way for a little while, but not anymore. But still in Cancer. Okay, so we still see and feel them very similar, right? Blue skin, tattoos of moons and waves and water, cleaning the karma. They can still work together in this energy, in this water energy of cleaning karma for the party, as a crab cleans the sand, protecting everyone with nurturing love and salt from the moon, from the ocean. When you want to speak to Jupiter, we sometimes need to speak to the boss. You want to go to the boss, you want abundance, you want to raise. Do you want to talk about, something that needs to be changed in the game? You go to the boss. When you paint the avatar and you see this image of the blue-skinned boss, you can communicate and speak with them. So let's find out what the aspects, what's going on with the boss right now. We look at the cards. They're flying all over the place. And we look at the map. First, it's helpful to look at the map and look at the symbols, all right? So we see that Jupiter is square with these two symbols. All right, we find these two guys, Saturn and Neptune. They are in conjunction. They are hand in hand in Aries. So let's paint this picture first to find out what's going on, right? We have the bartender serving the elixirs for the entire party so that everyone is on the same page. The collective consciousness right? The spiritual leader, in a way, right? The creative and idealistic one. Hand in hand, they've been this way for a little while now, with the party planner. Saturn is the one that is holding all of the boundaries, the one with the rings, the one that has the iPad in their hand, that's got everything color coordinated, that is figuring out what is going on. They've got the discipline and the boundaries and the coordination, and they're punctual, right? So they are both in Aries. They are both red with flaming tattoos and piercings. They kind of look a little bit scary. They're pretty forceful and in your face, right? Not the most uncomfortable because it is a very masculine energy. In your face, ready to conquer. Huge horns that make them look kind of devilish, you know? They're forceful, right? But they're charismatic and adventurous. They have the passion, that fire, to move into the unknown, all right? So with Jupiter, we've got a square. Typically, this can feel hard to move. But if we really look into the square, it creates the strong foundation. We were just talking about the foundation for the tower, okay, to build something. It makes perfect sense. But it's difficult to build something. It's difficult to put the brick and mortar together, to build the bricks, to pick up the bricks, to make sure each brick is in the right place so that the tower doesn't topple over. It's a very frustrating, very hard working energy. So we've got that with a Cancer Jupiter. Of course it's going to be difficult. This boss is androgynous, being a masculine heavenly body and a feminine constellation. Maybe this Cancer wants to work behind the scenes, is busy doing stuff that can't necessarily be seen because it's in the dark. It's by the moonlight. And this energy wants to get it done now. Okay? The bartender and the party planner want it done. This is how it needs to happen. Let's get everybody on the same page so we can save the world, maybe. So that everybody has equal rights, so that the nighttime, so that the dark has equal rights as the light, so that the wild spaces of the planet that we're losing very drastically, very quickly, possibly can have a chance to rejuvenate and come back and actually exist rather than becoming extinct. So let's pull some cards for these energies. First, let's talk to the boss. What does the blue-skinned Cancer boss want to say? Oh, it's magic. It is magic. The Magician. How are we going to build this tower? What's coming to mind is the pyramids and the magic that it takes to build, or took, to build the pyramids, right? Did they use, we were talking about building picking up the bricks and the effort that it takes to build something. Well, you know, it's a little bit easier when you have magic on your side, when you're using technology that possibly feels alien in sound technology, right? Technology that can make something that's very, very heavy, lighter to move, right? The unicorn is able to push this magic rainbow across the sky, all right? So let's find out now what the bartender and the party planner, because they're hand in hand, and they've got the fire and the passion. What do they want to say to the boss? To get this done, right? We all want to get it done. We've got the ace of diamonds, Earth. The power of Earth, absolutely. They have the power of the physical reality to know what we have available to us in this physical realm, to move the bricks, to change our reality. The global awakening, you know, is happening. Everybody's starting to realize that aliens are real, that this material reality is not what you think it is, that history has been, you know, rewritten, and there's a lot of lies out there that have been told to us that we know now. We have the power, the ace now, to overcome this obstacle, to understand that this square doesn't have to feel like a cage, all right? The cube doesn't have to be the cage. It can be the building block, right? The diamond is a cube. You just turn that square on its side and it becomes the diamond. Now, the diamond makes me think of the crystal technology, right? And we all know now, maybe not all of us, but you know, if you're watching this video, you know about crystal technology and how all of these devices that we're even using is using crystal technology. How is this even possible? You can look at these devices and feel that they are magical, right? It's just a matter of perspective. They are magic. Now, if we look back at the map, this is the talk of the town, right? This going on right here is Venus and Uranus moving into Gemini. So let's take this apart with the solar party paradigm to understand it better. We've got the beauty queen. All eyes are on her. This is the sacred feminine. This is a very grounding heavenly body that's all about the relationships and the love and, you know, beauty and aesthetics, right? And we have Uranus, the tech guy. Why is this planet, this heavenly body, the tech guy? Because it's all about electricity and mysticism and technology, right? Controlling the algorithms, knowing when to press record. Now, these guys have been arm in arm in conjunction and has felt like a race into Gemini. Now, they instantly split into the twins, blue-skinned with air and cloud tattoos and all kinds of crazy symbols, right? With the poles, this and that. The tattoos are split, right? They've got angels tattooed on one side and devils tattooed on the other. This can be a difficult energy, Now, we are all here on this plane to experience the duality. But one of the magical aspirations is to reach non-duality, to bring the two together in unison, to understand that it's all one. The twins either argue about this or that, or they're going to get along. And when they get along, this is the power of this constellation. Their power is not to split it. It is to, well, the power is to split it, to inspect each other, to understand that there is another way of looking at something. And their power is to bring them together in unison, to work together. Now, we have 2 beauty queens and 2 tech guys. This can be pretty confusing, okay? Are they going to get along? Are the 2 beauty queens going to fight over who's the most beautiful? Are the 2 tech guys going to be like, are they going to work together so that each angle, when they press record, so that they can make the video change angles and look good? Or are they going to argue about this angle is better than that angle, and maybe you shouldn't press record because, I'm the one pressing record and I need to do my videos and you need to just stay out of the way? So let's talk. Okay, let's find out what Venus has to say. She entered first into the twins. She split first. So what does she have to say? All right. The 9 of Hearts. This is water. This is a very emotional. The number 9 brings in whether the number 9 can bring the Hermit and the Sun, right? This and that. That's a lot of emotions. I'm the beauty queen. No, you're not. This is beautiful. That's beautiful. What is beauty? What is beautiful? If we talk to Mars and the Sun, who are, they're definitely looking at what's beautiful and what's on the field, and the feminine, this energy, Venus, is like, you guys, I am the most beautiful. But now they're split into 2, into Gemini. The 9 brings in that last number, obviously the last number before it splits into the 10, splits into 2, right? So what are we going to do with this energy? This emotional understanding that, oh my God, are we at the end of the game? Is this planet going to survive? Are humans going to survive without wild spaces? With only 3% of the wild left? Is the beauty queen going to live? Or are they just going to fight over whose land is who? This is my land. I want to build a house. I want to build cars. I want cars. So we need these huge plants to build the cars. And, let's get into these devices. And the electrical power plants, we'll talk to Uranus in a second, that it takes to make these devices, to use these devices, right? Let's talk to Uranus. We got to figure out, come on now, technology. What do you have to say as 2 tech guys? You want your technology. You want your electricity. You want all of these comforts that make your life better, instead of wild spaces for bears and big cats and, wild animals. All right, well, the 3 of air. The night. Working together with the 3. The 3 brings in the triangle, the family, the Trinity. Air is the communication. Uranus, the tech guy, is also very social. That's why they want to press record in the first place, to speak with each other, to talk to each other, to communicate with each other. 3% of the planet. That's it. It's for the wild. That's not equal. It's not equal rights. Gemini knows about equal rights, unless they're fighting with each other. Each twin has to have space. Each tower has to be able to have room. One is not better than the other. No, we're not going to lose all of our technology if we give Wild the space to be. Wild doesn't want to destroy all of the cities. Can we learn to communicate enough to be able to give each other the space to exist together? The beautiful and the ugly. One of my favorite albums by Atmosphere, God Loves Ugly. And it can't just be the land of the beautiful. Looking at Venus. Maybe Uranus is like, you know what? I want to catch some of those raw angles. And then Venus is like, wait a second, that's not beautiful. That's not pretty. Oh God, no, I don't want to show that part of me. I've got a, messed up tooth, or I've got, it's not beautiful. I don't have the pretty everything. Maybe Uranus is saying it doesn't have to be. If we're going to work together, if we're going to show what's raw and real, if we're going to talk about environmental issues, there's going to have to be that, let's look at the shadow. Let's figure out what's going on behind the scenes. Let's get the twins together and understand that they both should have equal rights. So let's look a little bit deeper. We can go very deep with the map when we know the map and when we can use these cards. What is going on with the beauty queen? She has aspects, okay? These 2 beauty queens, the twins. The twin beauty queens are in square. That's that square. It's difficult. It's hard. Is it a cage? Do you actually want to do the work? Do you want to build the tower? Or do you want to feel like the tower, oh, that's good. Is the tower something that you're trapped in, Rapunzel? Or is the tower something that you can see beyond the horizons, that you can climb up to and press record, right? And see all of it. Your perspective changes at the top of the tower. But who is this square with? We've got the Virgo Mars. Now, you know about these 2, right? The divine feminine and the divine masculine. Well, she is in Gemini, which is a masculine sign, an air sign. 2 masculine energies. And he is in Virgo, a feminine sign, which makes him more feminine. The masculine energy, feminine. In square, I mean, she wants to be seen. She wants to be looked at as beautiful. And the jock wants to win the game, wants to focus on what's going on the field in sextile with, the birthday kid. That could cause a lot of friction, a lot of tension between the beauty queen that now split into two, that is trying to, have all of the eyes on her. What is your relationship? Do you want to know if you're going to get back together with your ex, or, if your loved one is going to come to you, or you want to know more about the other? Gemini, the social butterfly. When am I going to meet my soulmate? The jock is like, yo, I'm a virgin in Virgo. I'm just focused on the game. I've got everything I need in the backpack, and I'm trying to win the game for the birthday kid, the sun. I'm looking at the sun. But I want you to look at me. Well, we can climb that tower. We can have a broader perspective of the tower and see it as not a cage, but a vantage point. That it's not all about just beauty and aesthetics and our lovers, or our soulmates, or our twin flames. Oh, twin flames in Gemini, but they're air. It's not all about that. We are one. We're all trying to build a tower. We're all trying to win the game. And we all understand that it's not just about beauty and aesthetics, that we need to bring these two perspectives together, see the bigger picture, and exist together to figure this all out. So if we look back at the map and we say, what else is going on with Venus? There's a lot of aspects going on in this map. There's a lot of symbols that we can look into that these cards help us with. By learning the symbols, knowing what they mean, and not just knowing in our minds what they mean, but feeling, dropping it from the head into the heart so that we can feel what they mean. What else is going on with this beauty queen that just split into two, right? We see this symbol, the trine, the three, the triangle, the coming together, the working together. This is the energy of BFFs. Now, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters. When she has a problem, okay? She's going to call her BFF. My Bessie and a Tessie. To figure out who is your Bessie? Oh my goodness. Pluto. The emo kid. It can be a lot. The god of the underworld. That can be a lot. Very mysterious. The dark side. Okay, now we can look back at the map to find out that the emo kid, because we got to figure out, what does this best friend look like, right? Back at the cards, we find the symbol Aquarius. Pluto is in Aquarius. What does that mean? Well, we've got an emo kid that is an air sign that is symbolized by water, which brings the duality together. Air can hold water in clouds, which makes the rainbow. So we've got a rainbow-colored god of the underworld. Pink Floyd vibes right there. We all love it. The love of the underworld, the love of the wild, the love of nature. We all have to, like, she calls her best friend, and what does her best friend say? Yeah. You know how much you love going into the woods with nobody else around? You know as well as everybody else does that we're losing space for that. That there's not that much out there. And I mean, as far as manifesting, we have to be able to talk about it. We can't ignore it. She wants to be like, oh, there's plenty of beautiful. She only wants to look at the beauty of it. That, yeah, there's some woods in my backyard that I love to go to, and that's beautiful, and it's important to put energy into that, yes. But you also have to look at the ugly side, that we're losing those spaces. That they're being torn down and clear-cut for industry, for hotels, for ecotourism, because we need hotels and restaurants and, you know, and paved roads. Now, this Aquarius energy is very rebellious, is very revolutionary. So let's find out. Let's find out what the emo kid has to say. She calls her best friend. Let's first find out what she has to say to him. Like, Venus says, oh, you pulled it again. The beauty of Earth. Let's talk about the beauty of Earth. Let's talk about the tower and whether it's going to fall down or whether we're going to build that foundation, right? Whether we're going to come together as lovers, whether the city dwellers can love the nature wild dwellers enough to not destroy all of the wild places. No, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. Believe me, I've had to come to terms with that. You know, I want to talk to my best friend. This is Venus talking. You know, Venus, this is that, you know, sometimes you have to cry and feel all of the feelings of, you know, we're losing it. We're losing it. We're losing it. We're losing the beauty of this planet. Only 3%. And I'll say it as many times as I need to say it until it becomes more. Until we get equal rights. Until that 3% turns into 50%. 50% can be cities and 50% can be wild. Unadulterated. Unmessed with. No electricity. And there are a lot of humans that want to live like that. There are. All of the people that are doing off-gridders. All of the off-gridders can have space to move into the wild. You don't need to buy land when it's wild. You move into it. You build your tower, and then you protect it. So what does Pluto have to say about that? The god of the underworld, the Aquarius. Oh, the king. Oh, the king of fire. We got to have the passion. The passion to protect the wild. The passion to be an off-gridder that says, you know what? We're not going to build a road here. It's going to be dirt. You know what? If you want pavement, it can be like a sidewalk. So all of the skateboarders and the rollerbladers can get around without destroying the environment or the ecosystem and calling it ecotourism because you need the tour buses to come in, right? Let's talk about the king saying, you know what? I'm putting my foot down with fire. No more roads. There's enough roads. We can come up with a different way, right? To protect the wild. Let's talk to Uranus. That is just turned into 2. That is kind of the talk of the town right now. Is he not? Uranus just moved into Gemini. All the wars and everything that's going on, right? The tech guy that is now 2, that could possibly cause a lot of problems. Who's recording what, and I want this to be online and that not to be online, and who's controlling the algorithms anyway, and what do you have to do to get your content that you know is important to be seen? Can you control the algorithms? Can you figure this stuff out? Right? What's going on with Uranus right now? Well, we've got this symbol, the sextile. Can you remember what that means? Sexy, the tantric energy of attraction, the I love you, I want you, come to me, let's be one, with Neptune, the bartender. We have a tech guy that is sharing sexual energy with the bartender. We're not talking about serving alcohol. We're not talking about serving elixirs that are bad for you. We're talking about serving plant medicine. Which side of the fence are you on? Because there's 2, right? One algorithm is pushing, let's say, alcohol and drugs, just as a metaphor. And one tech guy is pushing plant medicine and healing elixirs, moving away from big pharma. What's actually going to get us to connect, to reconnect with ourselves, as above, so below? Tantra is the feeling of reconnecting with the planet, with your macro body. It's not about, well, I ain't gonna say what it is or it isn't about, but some of us have looked into Tantra and have realized that it's not just about sex. The sextile is a lot more. The energy is a lot more than just coming together physically. It's about working together. It's about using this electric energy, the only energy that can create something new. The metaphor is the sex creates the baby. But using it as a metaphor, the energy is 2 separate energies, 2 polar energies, a masculine and a feminine. Doesn't matter what's in your pants. It's 2 different energies coming together to create something new. Okay, tech guy, that's 2 right now. Let's use this energy to come together as a collective, you know. But what else is going on with Uranus? Okay, well, we see this symbol, BFFs. Okay, this is good. Like, we've got this good energy with who? Oh, Pluto, there you are again. The rebellious Aquarius, god of the underworld, Pluto. Best friends with the Gemini, Uranus. Now, depending on your perspective, as we've talked about, the god of the underworld can be a very scary thing. And yes, I mean, I can feel that war happening, god of the underworld. But at the same time, equal rights, it is the one thing that people can go into war about, equal rights for women, equal rights for the LGBTQ, equal rights. We can fight about that. I'm your best friend, your BFF, your Bessie and a Tessie. Oh, Tesla. I mean, let's not get into the Teslas, okay? And the cars. Let's stick to metaphors here, right? Let's really understand that this Pluto, this emo kid, can be very emotional. In the feminine can also be very Kali energy of let me just destroy everything. Scorpio energy for transformation. Let's burn it down to alchemize it, to create something new, to move that 3% into 4%, into 5%, into 6%, all the way to 50%. Equal rights. Let's use this energy. All right, so now we look back at the map. What else is going on in this map? There's a lot going on in the map. And I have personally found that it takes a lot to cover everybody at the party, right? So we're going to take one more aspect and we're going to go here. Because, Pluto's been kind of the shining star of this video. I feel that all of a sudden. And why do I feel that? Because of this. Look at that. Because we got this going on. Pluto in conjunction with the moon. Now, it is hard for me to cover the moon because the moon travels very, very quickly. And by the time you even watch the damn video with the algorithms and all, the moon is already somewhere else. And to really utilize the moon's energy, you kind of have to be on top of what's going on. You have to look at this map daily. You can use these cards to look at the map daily. You go to astroseek.com or any of the other current planet placements. You don't have to use ChatGPT. I understand that, that might not be accurate, but right now, even astrologers are using these devices to look at what's going on in this map today, every day, what's going on. And we see this. Now, the conjunction, this symbol means they're hand in hand, arm in arm. Now, let's look at the moon. Now, in the solar party paradigm, you see that it's labeled the bathroom mirror. That's not necessarily like what you would think of as a heavenly body. I know. I had to work with this energy and be like, really? Are you a hand mirror? What? I mean, you're a mirror. I get it. You're not a physical avatar. But this is a magic mirror. And I almost put the magic mirror instead of the bathroom mirror. I don't know. There might be some few edits in the next order of these cards. But right now, this is the bathroom mirror. and you go to the bathroom at the party. That's what it was, because this is a party setting. You visit the bathroom at a party to see what you look like, to see if, your makeup's messed up, or if your hair's messed up, or, what you're wearing, if you got stains on your shirt, Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest? Who's the fairest of them all? Who is holding the mirror? Conjunction? The emo kid right now. That means this is a rainbow mirror. The mirror that you're looking into. But it's very rebellious. It's very emotional. It's very much water. Water, water, water. We're all just water sacks. We're not meat sacks. We're water. Mostly water. Most of the planet is water too. Which is where you come with the pirates, the esoteric pirates, right? When all of the land is a city and we have no more land left to be wild, the pirates get on their boats and go to the ocean. I mean, esoterically, right? As a metaphor. And I mean physically too, but as above, so below, right? So let's just pull some cards for these two, and then we'll call it a day. Until next time. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. The algorithms, it does help. But I'm just trying to get these cards out so that you can understand the macrocosm, so that we can understand the microcosm. So let's find out. What does Pluto, the god of the underworld in rainbows, have to say? Okay. The 10 of air. All right. The 10 is the karmic completion. This is the world. The world. In air. Aquarius is an air sign, even though it looks like water. That's what creates the rainbows. Bringing the diversity together through air and water. You have to talk about your emotions. We have to communicate our emotions. If all you're ever doing is talking about how beautiful the beaches are, bless, yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beaches, beautiful woods. If all we're doing is showing how beautiful the nature is, and we're not ever showing about how fast these beautiful places are being destroyed for industry, for more humans, then how are we going to communicate those emotions? How are we going to look at the shadow? How are we going to change? How are we going to complete the karma that, the birthday kid and the boss right now in Cancer are trying desperately to clean, right? Pluto wants to explain that the 1 and the 0 is the duality in code. There's the masculine and the feminine right there in the number. The numbers are magic. The air that we breathe. Focus on your breath, control your emotions, and speak your mind. And what I see is 3%. That's it. It's got to be more than that for us to survive. So let's find out what the moon, the magic mirror, like the moon has the ability to communicate. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? I mean, we've got a lot of Gemini with Venus and Uranus as twins. There's that 9 again. That's just one step below 10. You're almost there, and it's staying with air. It's staying with the communication. You know, the 9 brings in the Hermit, and 19 is the Sun, or yeah, the numbers. Anyway, the way that I read my cards are different than the traditional tarot. I read the numbers, the numerology, and the elemental, right? So the 9 has both the Hermit and the Sun. It's the dual, okay? The 3 separated into 3s. Are we gonna make it? Do we have the energy for the last stretch to continue forward? It's bringing in Capricorn energy, but there's not a lot of Capricorn energy out there right now. Nobody's in Capricorn. I have to check. I don't think anybody's in Capricorn. But it's the energy of continuing to go. You either end at 9, because 9 can be the end. Boom. It doesn't move into the 10. Unless you continue, unless you push forward, and then the numbers split into 2. So, ultimately, the message is bringing the 2 together. Equal rights. There's a left-hand path and a right-hand path. And there's a fulcrum, and there's a middle way. They all kind of lead to the same place. We're all going to die. The energy is all going to continue into a whole. But we here now are split into you and I, into the 1 and the 0. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. Write a comment down below. It really helps the algorithm. I appreciate you very much. Check out the Patreon account. I plan, I do a lot of personal information and personal downloads I share on Patreon. Please check that out. And yeah, whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light and shadow. And don't forget your magic bag. It's full of everything you need. And right now, Mars and the South Node have it all. So check it out. Until next time, ciao.